is a day that we focus on the cross on which Jesus was sacrificed. He paid a debt that he did not owe, a debt of which was ours that we could not pay. Today is a day to meditate on God's love through Christ's cross. To meditate on the cross, which means to realize the suffering in which Jesus endured for you. Death by crucifixion was the most painful thing a person could experience, and it's where we get the term excruciating from. We get it from that word crucifixion. It was the most despicable and violent death that we could imagine. In the first reading from Isaiah, it's known as the suffering servant, and it's one of my most favorite readings of the Old Testament. It foreshadows the death of Jesus, and I remember a particular Good Friday many years ago. I had the opportunity to read that first reading from Isaiah at Good Friday service. And I practiced it many, many times to the point where I had almost memorized it, but not quite. As I got up to read for the Good Friday service, I couldn't read it. I could not read it because emotion just completely overwhelmed me in reading that chapter 52 and 53 from Isaiah. I absolutely struggle through it, and I honestly have no idea if the congregation understood any word that I said. But I think through the emotion of how I expressed the reading, I think they understood the ramifications of what Isaiah was saying about how Jesus, the suffering servant, was to die. It was a bit of a lesson for me as well, because I had really prepared hard for that reading, and until I actually got up and got in front of the microphone, I thought everything was cool, and as soon as I started, I really struggled through that reading. But it's a reading that's so fitting for Good Friday, on a day that we contemplate the cross and the suffering of Jesus, as Isaiah describes it so perfectly. Isaiah says he was despised and rejected by others, a man of suffering and acquainted with infirmity, as one from whom others hid their faces. He was despised, and we held him of no account. Surely he has borne our infirmities and has carried our diseases, and yet we accounted him stricken, struck down by God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He paid a debt that he did not owe. It was a debt that was ours and which we could not pay. He was crushed for our iniquities, and upon him was the punishment that made us whole. See, I still have trouble with it. And by his bruises we are healed. Jesus was an innocent victim, a perfect victim, a spotless victim, a victim who knew no sin, and yet he was killed in the most vicious way we can imagine. But through all this, we are not bystanders. For Jesus says that anyone who wishes to be my disciple must pick up his cross and follow me. Anyone wishes to be my disciple, they must pick up their cross and follow me. And although Jesus died on the cross for us, he does ask for something from us in return: to pick up our own cross and to follow him, to be obedient to him, to live the life that he calls us to be as his disciples. I appreciate the weight of some crosses that people must carry. On Good Friday, we contemplate the cross on which Jesus hung, and also the realization that we too, as Jesus said, must carry our own cross if we are to follow him. As we carry the cross, we may stumble, we may fall, but Jesus reminds us that he is always with us and will never leave us. Carrying our cross is not something that we have to do alone, because Jesus also reminds us when he says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and carry heavy burdens. Come to me, and I will give you rest, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light." We take comfort in whatever burdens we carry, knowing that as heavy as our crosses are, Jesus will help us carry it. He takes most of the weight of our cross on his shoulders and allows us, each and every one of us, to carry on. In a few minutes, we will have the opportunity to come forward and worship the cross. This is a personal moment at the cross of Jesus, and a moment to express our gratitude and our love for Jesus in recognition for the sacrifice in which he bore on the cross for each and every one of us. To approach the cross today is also a time to bring our burdens, our sorrows, our frustrations, whatever we carry, and lay them at the foot of the cross. Give them to Jesus in humility, to recognize that we need him. We need his help in order to carry our own crosses. We do so in humility and in recognition that we never walk alone, that Jesus is our Savior. He is our sacrifice. And a reminder that Jesus is always in the midst of our struggle.